focus on the current issue happening in this country. As you are all aware, yesterday, Professor George Magoha, the CS for Education, said that the new competency-based curriculum will be rolled out, and now teachers are being trained all over the country to now accommodate these to the pupils. And after the research actually standard 4 pupils, the current standard 4 pupils is the last lot to sit for KCPE. In studio now, Dennis Ntumbi, of course, is joined by Peter Munga from the NAT, that's the communication team from the NAT. And we want to discuss about all this thing. NAT is against this idea of the curriculum-based new curriculum. And of course, Mr. Ntumbi, as a parent, as a former teacher also, is in support of this new change. And we're wondering what is happening. As far as now that's concerned, more than 3,000 members, that the teachers, have actually been told not to go to this training. Bwana Munga, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
What is happening?
Yes, the CBC is illegal. It's not enshrined in our laws. It has not been approved by Parliament. There's no cessation of paper to back it up. Okiya Mtata is in court to oppose the implementation of the same. The courts have pronounced themselves on it and said before it is enshrined in the, it's approved by Parliament, it should not be allowed to continue. NAT is just a good citizen, a good organ that loves to obey law, law-abiding for that matter. And so NAT has told its 300,000, by the way, 300,000 members who are teachers in this country to boycott. 300,000. And the government had called to train around 90,000 teachers. Our records show less than 30,000 turned up yesterday. And we are happy as a union to announce that liberation in Africa, and I've heard Ntumbi talk about Bobby Wine and Ntumbi. Okay, I confused. Sorry, I'm sorry. Somebody with such a name. Okay. So let me say this.
That's a dignified name.
Yes, Ntumbi, my brother. I wish to bring to attention of Ntumbi and like-minded people like him.
Okay.
Liberation in Africa began with trade unions.
Okay. Before you continue, just for our viewers' sake, why are you against this new curriculum?
It is illegal. It's not it's not enshrined.
Evidence of illegality.
Yes, the fact that it's illegal, first of all, that's alone is enough to say no. Number two, we can't afford it as a government. This is a system whereby you need, actually our research shows that we need 365 billion to roll it out. We are not prepared. We don't have money. This country has no money. Now, somebody told us we are not the treasury to tell us whether there is money or no money.
Yeah.
But we can see this is a country that's in debt. This is a country that we borrow. This is a country that's trying to impose housing levy and other charges on its citizens so that it can raise money. We are saying this is a government that is broke. Our economy is not doing well. You can walk around this country and see that people are complaining. Now, number two. Number three now. I've talked about the fact that it's not in the law.
Yeah.
We can't afford it. Number three, schools are congested. CBC curriculum, you can Google, you can go anywhere. In Finland, where it has worked, and it's only in Finland where it has worked, 3 teachers in a class of 20 students, whereby one class teacher is on the board, another teacher is going around, seeing what the students are doing, and another teacher is correcting. 3 teachers in a class. That is how CBC works. CBC cannot work in a class where children are seated on stones, and whereby a teacher is teaching a class of 80 to 100 children in a class. That cannot be CBC. CBC must have room. You have to remove the desks and replace with tables. You have to put chairs. You have to have whiteboard chalks. You have to have projectors. You cannot teach CBC. CBC means competence. I have to look at this gentleman and see if he's competent enough to be a musician, to be what. I can't do that in a class of 100 children seated. Number 4. Pedagogy. Pedagogy is the methodology of teachers teaching. We were trained, the way we were trained in our colleges, we were trained in this pedagogy of whereby you teach like a lecturer. You just stand in front and you read notes. But now, CBC does not want that. CBC, the kind of training a teacher should receive is whereby a teacher is able to identify your talent right from the beginning. Not standing in front of you with a piece of chalk and reading notes, like how you are taught and I was taught. This one is whereby a teacher looks at you, doesn't even need to talk, but can assess you and say, this student can become a good artist by looking at your talents. The way I was trained either at Siriba College or at Eregi TTC or at Kenyatta University, I was trained to lecture. The methodology as a teacher that I was given as Peter Munga was to lecture. The government is forcing us to go for a 2-day training to change what I've been doing all my life. I've taught for 25 years. To change what I've been doing for 25 years in 2 days. That is a joke. And I want to tell Kenyans who are listening, the CBC is just another joke that is being planted on you, and it's your children who will pay for it. Once this government exits, which I'm sure one of these days it will, 5 years from now, no, 3 years now, they will go. And we will be left with a thing called a CBC curriculum that we can't run.
Bwana Dennis, you're in support of the competency-based curriculum, and from the teacher's perspective, his sentiments are very strong. Because now when you use 2 days to now kind of change how they've been teaching all along, and also the infrastructure, as much as they're looking at the bigger picture of now the economy and all those things happening, look at what he said. It's kind of also confusing because now he's actually been teaching for the last 25 years. Other teachers also, they have more than 300,000 members who, of course, they hope they won't appear for this training. But look at this also. Is it thing being rushed? Because from his sentiments, there are no plans. There's some rush here, whereby now, also when you look at it very keenly, some legacy traces are kind of trickling down to some pressure on the teachers.
You know, first of all, I want to approach this with just proper intellectual tranquility. I, distance myself from the shouting in studio that my brother is doing here. I want to approach this as, just cool reporters. And that's what I'm going to do. The truth of the matter is that my brother has already perpetuated lies on national TV. And I want to, first of all, debunk a few things. The truth of the matter is that as a nation, we need to ask ourselves, is it of importance to the development of the child and to the goals of our nations and to the goals of education to overhaul our education system? The truthful answer will be yes. Yes. If that's it, then is the answer the competency-based curriculum? The second answer will be yes. Then we get to the most critical question, and I will answer two. The first question is, why are all teachers for the competency-based curriculum? And why is NAT opposed? So why are teachers in love with the competency-based curriculum? And these are the facts. The fact is that NAT called for a boycott, but they were embarrassed. All the 90,000. And by the way, the reason why NAT is disrupting, you cannot disrupt something that's not happening. All right? So it means teachers are turning up for these trainings, 6 regions, by the way, out of the 8, turned up for this region, for this training. They turned up, they love it. I visit schools, I'm a teacher myself, they love it. My son is already studying it. I can see the change. The truth of the matter is that 844 has failed us. What it is that I would like NAT to be. And before I go there, I would like to ask myself a critical question. Why is NAT opposed to the competency-based curriculum? Now, this is the answer. NAT is the biggest cash cow that there is in the country. And I'm shocked that my brother is saying that the country is broke, when NAT is an exponentially rich institution, collecting over 1 billion shillings from teachers in the country. Why then will they not forego those deductions if then they believe that the teachers are in problems? Yet even with whatever they collect, whatever it is that they've been championing in terms of improving the pays of the teacher, they've never succeeded. So this is my answer. is that the only reason why NAT is opposed to the competency-based curriculum is that because nowhere within the maths of the treasury have they been included in the cake of 360 billion shillings. It is, and let me tell you what, trade unions in this country are the biggest jokes ever, because they always oppose, they always disrupt, so that they can receive huge payments from the government.
Is it
the truth of the matter, allow me to finish before,
Yeah,
because
sure.
he had a lot of more time than me.
Yeah.
The critical question that I would ask Nat is that if then you're challenging the legality, and by the way, there's a question between legality and legitimacy. You understand?
Okay.
We have identified when I was starting to, the discourse, is that the fact is that we need an overhaul in this country. The CBC is an amazing thing. The teachers love it, the students love it. And this is something, it's a fact on the ground. So the truth of the matter is that if Nat then has found a few legalities, and by the way, Parliament was, because he cannot speak on behalf of Parliament or Treasury. The truth of the fact is that there's a session paper that was presented to Parliament. And the truth is that, by the way, this is being championed by the government. Whatever that is being championed by the government then becomes a policy matter that then can be instituted into law. The discourse is there, it's clear, and at the end of the day, even if you go to challenge it on court, it will be an uphill task. My question to Nat is that because we have identified us as teachers and as students that this is a beautiful thing, why are you not on our side? And why are you opposing it? And then why won't you assist through the legal procedures to make sure that the illegalities you're challenging then are put into law? And by the way, that's a shorter process.
Okay. Wait, just before you actually comment on something, we want to take a short break, but I'll read one comment here from Lucky Nduku. She says that kindly, if you want to change this country, we have to use force. I don't understand what she means, but if you want change in this country, you have to use force, and I'm in support of the new curriculum. I don't feel like the old 844 helped me because I'm still jobless.
Absolutely.
That's actually a comment. Now, Emmanuel Monde also says that the link between 844 and the new curriculum. All right, welcome back to Morning Live. Regulation of this conversation won't be as easy as many of you think, but I'll be doing more listening than talking, as I said earlier. But this is all about the good of this generation. The new curriculum versus 844. Who is right? Because there's so many stakeholders in the NAT trying to actually now shoot this thing down. And of course, some teachers in the private entities, and of course, many of them who are actually taking a part of the training are in support of the new rollout. Bwana Amunga, you have said that indeed, as much as you're trying to fight for the rights of the teachers, you're also looking into the government. Yeah. But look at the generation of what 844 has produced. The Kenya Bureau of Statistics in the latest figures say 70% of the Kenyan youth are jobless. Now, do you think maybe with the new curriculum, these statistics will come down in the new maybe the coming years?
The new curriculum is a pipe dream. It is not something that we should even be talking about. We should actually be thinking about how to improve what was wrong with 844. Because as Nat we are saying, you cut a suit or your material according to your suit according to the material you have. You don't live beyond your means. Kenya is living beyond her means. By bringing in this kind of new curriculum, Kenya is trying to tell us that we are now several light years ahead of other African countries. The CBC curriculum was rejected in South Africa. We have records. We can Google. Teachers went on the streets. Parents went on the streets and refused it. It was rejected in Malaysia. It was rejected in Singapore. It has not worked in Japan. The only country that CBC has worked clearly is in Finland. And the economy of Finland, you cannot compare it with the economy of Kenya. I want to say this. NAT are teachers, 300,000 plus teachers. NAT is not just anything. It's an organization of members. Members are teachers. These teachers have been forced, have been intimidated by Magoha. Magoha told us yesterday when he was at Uhuru Gardens Primary that he never fails. He never has a reverse gear. When he says, I'll pass here, he wants to pass there. He's forcing teachers. He was calling, his officers were calling teachers the whole of the weekend, Easter weekend. We were in Malindi for a retreat at Turtle Bay Hotel. And during the retreat, Magoha wrote a letter to all teachers to attend that kind of CBC during Easter holiday. We came out and opposed it. One of us, a man by the name John Wesonga from Mumias Nat, he came out clearly and said teachers will not go for any training over Easter weekend. As I speak, he's cooling his heels in the cells in Mumias. Immediately after he made that statement on TV, he was followed and traced and tracked down. Yesterday he was arrested. Liberation in Africa started with trade unions.
So do you
and
think...
I am happy that NAT is standing out
do you
to
think
liberate Kenyans from the shackles of doom in this country, the shackles of bad governance, the shackles of introducing policies without public participation. NAT is standing out to be counted. NAT has opposed housing levy. NAT is opposing this kind of what you're calling joblessness. We are saying this government promised us jobs. Jobs don't come because of an education system. Jobs come because of good government policies.
Another thing also, Mago has said, just on you, Mr.
Yes.
Munga, if your son or daughter is cleaning an office somewhere but can take food at home, can feed his family, it's okay. The hula balloos and the drive and the quest to get degrees in this country is too much. That's why some people end up doing very useless degrees actually out here. Now, do you think his sentiments kind of sits in well with some parents and people who've actually done this? And also, as much as we are kind of talking the casual way of actually taking food at home, do you think now even those people who want to propel their lifestyles, their education, are kind of now thwarted here?
And that's where I'm sure Thumbi and I will agree that Magoha is wrong. There's nothing like useless degrees in this country. You said it on this show. You and I were here with another operative like you, who also said the same thing from government like you. Magoha is wrong. He was called Bichachi. And I want to say this. The truth of the matter
you
is
have to give ourselves the right to defend ourselves.
There's nothing
You
like
know,
useless
because at the end of the
degrees in
day,
this country. I must finish this.
Yeah, let him finish. Let him finish.
There's nothing like useless degrees. Every degree is important. Even if it's a degree in veterinary, in whatever you can think, even theology or whatever. Magoha should be happy that we are thirsty for knowledge. Kenyans want to get education. Kenyans want degrees.
Yeah.
So when you start saying that one degree is useless and you are the Minister for Education, you have no business being a Minister for Education.
Because the man has already landed his point.
When you are trying to belabor and tell Kenyans that there are some useless degrees,
hold on.
you should not be a minister. A minister should encourage us to get
before
degrees.
you come in, Dennis,
a minister should tell us.
Let me remind you,
Yes.
we talked about some issues with the degrees some time back, I think 2 months ago, right here in the studio. And you're so much against these degrees. Right now, there's a change of tune.
You
what
know,
was the change of tune? Because I was here. I saw you actually coming very strongly against...
Allow me. No. Research.
You changed again.
No. You know, let me tell you what. I'm glad that you've called out my brother. You know, please, everybody who's watching this show, stretch your hands towards Peter and let us pray for his heart.
Oh my God.
Because his mouth today, we must save this man.
Save
from
the teachers and
patriarchy.
save this country from
the problem is that when you're the sent man and you're sent without any cognition, you're told don't debate outside these points, and that is what my brother Peter is a good man in life. But if the man is sent, say just speak about number one. The truth of the matter is that he will even murder that number one. Listen, the last time we were here, we spoke about the urge and the necessity for degrees, and what we stood for is that principally there is no course that is useless. But the CS is right in saying that there's an undying, insatiable need for degrees. You understand?
Okay.
And the truth of the matter is that not every degree will get you where you are. And by the way, we need skilling at every level. We need masons, we need plumbers, we need, we need that. So as an economy.
You are saying they are useless degrees?
No, I'm not saying that they're useless. I'm saying that they're useful, but the undying need that you need to feel that I have to get a degree to be somebody, then that at the end of the day won't work. But let me tell you what, allow us not to, today to undress that. Because the tangent is very dangerous. The tangent that, look, the truth of the matter is that 844 has failed. The fact is that we need the competency-based curriculum. Why is not opposed to something new? Why have they, shelved their minds, shelved their innovation at the end of the day? Why are they so dead on that we need to stay with 844? Because the competency-based curriculum brings in a new system, and that new system is meant to disrupt status quo. And I say, by the way, you heard our brother here saying, where were they when a lot of us Easter were eating githeri? These guys were in Turtle Bay Beach in Watamu. The most expensive tourist getaway in the world. Watamu is number one. Spending teachers' money. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's teachers' money. And negotiation. It's teachers' money. We have there are many sponsors. Which sponsors? Now you guys are bringing sponsors to the show. But the truth of the matter is this. The tragedy. What's that again? The tragedy is that, let me tell you what. The teachers stand up. Even today, when he's going to the school he's going, the teachers have turned up. The truth of the matter is that this is what I desire. Yes, we identify that there are gaps. Yes, it is true that there are problems, not with the CBC, with its implementation. You understand? Not with the curriculum
implementation.
Yes. Because the curriculum itself has been developed by Kenyans. It's for Kenyans. No, it is addressing our needs. By whites, by foreigners. It is not by whites. It was developed by somebody in Glasgow University. This CBC thing is not Kenyan. It is untrue. It is foreign. The team, let me tell you what. CBC encourages things like even we are not watching a football match. It talks about we are teachers. We've been schooled.
Okay.
Unemployed. You talk too much. No, I don't. The truth of the matter is that I'm the only guy who's addressing facts here. Okay. The truth also allow me to talk.
Just finish.
Please publish the list of the names that develop the competence-based curriculum. Google. The truth of the matter is that please.
Google, just finish.
Google. You can't even cite Google.
Just finish, Banantumbi.
The truth of the fact is that the team that developed the CBC is fully Kenyan, and let me tell you what, the research that generated the development is based on addressing the needs of this nation. You understand? Personal goals of the child based on the development goals that we look at in terms of Vision 2030. You understand? That is accurate. Please, and I dare you, as Switch, publish the names of those people so that Kenyans can be much more enlightened. The other truth of the matter, let me tell you as I finish, that we can go to the next shouting match. The truth of the fact is that this is the truth, and this is the truth. There's an issue with the implementation. Why can't NAT be a partner is ensuring that something good is implemented properly? Why do they always have to fight? And I can tell you it is because of the money. These guys want to do their next conference in Kigali, their next conference in the US. These guys are tourists in a nation where they harvest money.
Okay, now were you involved in any sort of way? Absolutely, were you involved?
They refused.
As teachers?
No.
Were you involved?
Let me tell you.
You're involved, okay?
I personally, and the NAT Secretary General Wilson Sosion, were at the KICD on 3rd of January this year with the minister called CS Amina Mohammed. And we sat there for 5 hours with another chairman of a group called Stakeholders Steering Committee, is a man by the name Professor Airo, right now at the Daystar University. Airo was the chairman. And we gave 27 points as to why this new curriculum could not be launched. CS Amina Mohammed came to the steps of KICD and announced that we are postponing the launch of the new curriculum. We will not roll it out.
Okay.
Because we are not ready.
Okay.
There are things that have to be done before we implement it.
Okay.
And I'm happy that this gentleman says that actually the problem is implementation. Ask the question, then I'll say it. I'll continue.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
there's something called someone called Wilfred Diego actually says on Twitter, and not not being sincere. I know a chance to answer him.
Yes.
Not being sincere. We as a country have seen the need for curriculum change. They're opposing for the sake of it. That's not answer.
Absolutely. But
Yes,
not for the
and that's
sake
what I
of
want
it.
to say.
There's a catch.
Diego, my brother. It is not we are opposing. By the way, Nat does not oppose CBC. You see, you can't oppose something
No,
that
but
is
he's
good.
changing his tune now.
No, let me put it clearly.
Is it implementation?
We are
of the whole
CBC
idea?
is demonic.
No, of course I'll say those words.
Okay,
And
okay.
I'll not refuse them.
So
But the
which demon delivered
CBC
that something
has
good in
problems
this
with content.
Okay.
No.
The content that is in it. You know, Amina Mohammed, when talking to the Senate about the CBC, said, the devil is in the details of the CBC. The devil is in the content. Kenyans, by the way, parents, you're also supposed to be being trained for this CBC. This training is not supposed to be for teachers only.
It's ongoing. We're on the pilot.
If we are doing a CBC curriculum implementation, it starts actually from home.
Okay.
The CBC is a combined education system between parents and teachers. Is that so?
That's education.
Now, let me finish.
No,
We need to cool down a little bit. Just
we
a
are
bit.
not
We're taking a short
watchers.
break. We're taking a short break. We need to cool down a little bit. But now when you come back now, at least now the banter will continue during the break, but we're coming back with now lots more discussion. Now, you want to focus on facts. You know, when you talk about facts, now even parents watching right now will feel like, indeed, Ntumbi or Bwana Amunga is right in this thing. But let's talk about implementation. Even up to the universities now, from even the high school now, what are these guys going to do in the universities? You know, we need to get the details of this curriculum. So all that coming to you after a short break.
Amazing.
Welcome back to Morning Live. Your SMS is coming in through, and of course, Bwana Wesley says that indeed we need change in this country, but we need change in a very systematic and careful manner so that we don't put our kids at risk. And so many people asking about the transition even to the universities. Is the country, or maybe the government, able to now kind of cater for all the students who've chosen music, who've chosen mathematics, who've chosen, for example, some even other funny courses that maybe are talent best? Do you have infrastructure actually now to cater for all this? Bwana Amunga,
Yes.
do you have infrastructure?
Of course we don't have. What they're talking about, this curriculum is talking about, is that by the time you reach upper secondary level, which is grade 12,
Okay.
a child will be allowed to have pathways. They're calling them pathways,
Okay.
career pathways. That's what Magoha was saying the other day, that if he had gone through this system, he wanted to be a musician. So he was saying that he could have ended up being maybe Lokasa or something like that. So he would have been a poor one. But let's put it this way. Career pathways is a good idea. It happens in Finland.
Okay.
It starts to be identified right from ECD level.
Okay.
A child who is good at drawing or artworks can be identified that this child is good at design.
Do you have these institutions
Now that's what
in
I wanted
higher
to say.
learning? Yeah.
We don't even have, leave alone higher learning. ECD class.
Okay.
Even there's been no launch by the of ECD programs in teaching. So far we talk about grade 4. Are you aware that PP1 and PP2, which are the pre-primary, whatever, so far even there are no books. There are no books to train, to teach at ECD level.
But
This new curriculum.
KCD CEO actually confidently say that there are resources.
Yeah, Dr. Juan keeps
Yeah.
saying that because,
Yeah.
of course, he's seated somewhere where he's eating well. He's one of us, we know him. We were with him in Malindi. We know him very
Hey,
well.
my goodness.
So this is a man who knows how to defend his potato, and he knows where his bread is buttered.
Just like that.
Now, let me put it this way. These career pathways, when they talk big. A school like Shamsi Injiri, secondary school, or Shisietsanga in Humsalaba, cannot have pathway careers into music,
Okay.
into art,
No, that is
into
inaccurate.
woodwork,
Okay.
into carpentry,
No.
into
Allow me, you know,
basketry.
Look
There
from
is no
Busia.
way.
Look from Busia says the show is lit. The new curriculum is a good thing. Is that the rollout was done with without prior consultations. And now, if you go to schools in Nairobi, the CBC is better of implemented. What about in Turkana? Yes. What about in Samburu? Yes. Let the CBC be rolled out after proper planning, and it should be implemented in the whole country with equal educational resources.
That is what we are saying.
Si mambo ya kulala akiamka na okay, anyway.
That is what
no,
is saying.
Penina from Kajiado says, I'm an ECDE teacher and I'm in support of the CBC.
Exactly.
I've been practicing it and I can see some change in my pupils. I've heard.
Kajiado is one of these metropolitan places.
Metropolitan.
That's why he comes from. That's why he has his mansion. Kajiado is one of the places where they...
Okay, you have something to say.
Yeah. You know, first of all...
The schools in Kajiado, most of them are private schools.
No, come on.
Okay. Maybe Penina, you can clarify which school is this. Yeah, you can text us, Penina. Tell us.
In fact, Kajiado needs a lot of help in terms of infrastructure. Schools, hospitals, and a lot of those things. You know, water resources, and those are things. Let us discuss factually, and let us be careful not to demonize something good. The truth of the matter is that the CBC is good, and I want to elucidate facts here. We have identified that there's a problem in implementation, but we are expecting those problems. You know why? We need to understand that this is a pilot project. When your child is learning to walk and falls, you cannot beat them and tell them you will never walk again.
The pilot phase ended.
The truth of the matter is that no,
grade 4 is where they piloted. But grade 1 to 3
we stopped and we still go. So the truth of the matter is that this is an ongoing concern.
Just before you come in, grade 4? You're saying something about the pilot.
The one that they are piloting.
So you get the facts. Yeah.
They're still piloting.
Yeah, but grade 1 to 3 has been launched. It's rolled
out.
Yeah, but the truth of the matter is that you know we need to understand that we are still at the pilot stage.
Okay.
Even if you say it has launched or whatever it is, when you're piloting something, when your child is learning to walk, when they fall, you don't murder them. You don't say you're useless. You're supposed to be flying now. Let us go to court and stop this child from walking. Okay. When your child is learning to eat, they will throw and they'll spit the food out. We are learning to walk as a nation on the new
50
curriculum.
years later,
the truth of the matter, no, the curriculum is new. The curriculum is not 50
new. It has
years.
been tried in Malaysia.
The truth of the fact is that no, the curriculum we have is not Malaysian. Okay. The truth of the fact is that, let me tell you what, we have to be very cautious of, making sure that the enemies of progress, based on this new curriculum, have a mouth on national TV. But the truth of the matter is that this is what it is. You know, the first thing, and I want to say very quickly, there's early years education, and that is 2 years of pre-primary and 3 years of lower primary. Within that, we have special needs education, foundation and intermediate, going on concurrently. Then we have middle school education, which is 3 years of upper primary and 3 years of lower secondary. You understand? Excellent. Then after that, the system will identify your needs. Whether you're whether you're an arts and sports science person, they'll give you 3 years. Whether you're a social sciences person, they'll give you 3 years. Then there's 3 years of STEM, optional. You understand? All those three, 844 is not giving us that.
He has been sent from State House.
Then after that,
those are just things on paper.
We have tertiary education and training.
The person will identify.
Then immediately after that, listen. On all those steps, guess what we have? We have the foundation and intermediate training, special needs education. Then we have pre-vocational skills. It means, and then we have vocational skills. It means when my son is in upper primary, the guy can fix my car if he wants. He doesn't have to be a doctor who's poorly paid. You understand? No, the truth of the matter is that is what the system envisions.
That's what Kenyans are cheated to.
And then after that, after the tertiary education and the training, there's work of life and life. The truth of the matter is that, listen, the truth of the matter is that as Kenyans, we need to throw our positive weight towards this. It's a pilot process.
It's not pilot, it has been launched.
No, but it's being piloted.
Only in Standard 4.
It doesn't matter. It has been launched. He's agreeing and disagreeing at the same time. It doesn't have a sure direction.
It has been allowed.
The truth of the matter is this, you understand?
Yes.
Wafula, this is something that is ours. It is ours. If it fails because we want it. If it succeeds because we want it. The truth of the matter is that I'm shocked that Nat will spend a day in Watamu swimming in boxers and tumbokats, but refuse to meet Magoha in Nairobi. It
Those
beats
are
reason
insults on
at the end
national
of the
TV,
day.
and I think
No, it's not.
we will not allow
Now-
this kind of
It's
now,
not. It's the truth of the matter.
looking
Why
also-
can they not make something that is good for us
Bwana
work
Ntumbi,
when the
looking-
issue is just a process?
Just hold it right there. Looking at now even the moral setup of even the whole curriculum. Now, some parents are of like, they're not so comfortable exposing their kids into, that's actually a parent's opinion on SMS, exposing their kids to this early on, like they're putting their minds into so much pressure. Are you in agreement?
Of course. We are saying.
The pressure is in 8
No,
by the way. The
my
parent
friend,
is-
you'll have to listen. You'll have to listen. I know you are getting a lot of instructions from the house on the hill.
No,
but I want to
what
say
is
this.
wrong with this man? You want me to hand over my phone?
This is the issue. Parents are concerned. It's not only teachers. Parents, be informed. This new curriculum also involves you. You are supposed to work hand in hand with the teacher to identify the pathways and the careers that he's talking about. And you can see the pipe dream and the kind of illusion that our people are being taught and told, that by upper primary, a child will be able to repair his car. It's a lie. It won't happen.
What
It's a
do you
pipe
mean?
dream. And I want to say it this way to the parents who are listening to us. This curriculum, just like many other things that we've been given by this government since it took over, it is more of PR. This will do this for you. This will happen. Children will be able to construct the SGR once they finish the upper high school. All these things will be told. But as long as the teacher, who is me, I'm not involved, as long as Sosion is not invited to
By
State
the
House
way-
or
by
to
the
wherever
way-
to be told what this thing is all about,
Yeah.
as long as Nat is not aware of what this new curriculum is all
Afuna,
about,
let me tell you something.
let me tell you, we can do all the
Let me
yapping
tell
we
you
want.
something. No, somebody
The
needs to serve
teacher
this gentleman.
Okay,
is
okay.
the implementer.
No,
The
no.
teacher. Let me finish, brother. I want to make a very serious
No, but
point,
you've already
and very
finished.
quietly. No,
Just finish. And then
allow me to finish this very point.
Yeah,
No,
sure.
what point?
The teacher is the backbone of
That's
implementation
inaccurate.
of a new curriculum.
Okay.
He has said there is a gap.
Okay.
The gap is in the implementation. That gap he's talking about is the teacher. The teacher
That is inaccurate.
is NAT.
Okay.
And we as NAT are
That's
saying,
inaccurate. By the way,
if you
let me
don't
tell you
train us well, if you don't
No,
change our
no,
methodology
who
of
trains
teaching,
NAT?
take us back to college,
Listen.
or equip us properly
By
on
the
how
way,
we'll teach,
Let me tell you what.
Yeah.
we
sure.
will not deliver
Anybody
this
who-
new
anybody-
curriculum.
No, by the way, it is not up to NAT to. By the way, we have to differentiate NAT from teachers. You understand? NAT has nothing to do with teaching in this country. NAT
kind
is a
of positive.
commercial entity.
NAT
The
is
truth of the
involved
fact
in
is that
NAT
because
is recognized
no,
by law.
no, hold on,
NAT
hold on.
is an act of
No,
parliament.
no, listen.
NAT is
Please,
the one that is
regulate the conversation.
No,
The man
you
is
know,
busting,
you know,
he's
the-
busting the
And I
ears
want
of
just to
parents.
notice.
The thing
No,
is-
this
No,
man's
no,
face. He
no, no,
cannot
no.
come
I am
here.
for the teachers. I was raised by a teacher.
But you
My sister is a
teachers.
teacher.
Okay.
And I am a teacher.
You are
I
not.
am for teachers.
Okay.
The way
And by
you
the way,
address
the
and
truth of
the
the
way you
matter,
talk, you are
okay,
not
the
a-
truth of the
Just
matter, I am
let
a
me finish.
teacher. Teachers are not poor. Teachers are not stupid.
Teachers are-
At the end of the day, you want somebody
Poverty
who's wearing a
stricken.
collar so that you
Okay.
can. That is how Nazis teachers. Nazis
Okay.
teachers are stupid and poor. If
No,
the man
that's not
wants
how
me to come and
Nazis-
wearing
Nat fights for the
wearing
welfare.
Let
no,
him just
which
finish. Let him just
welfare has
finish.
not
Okay.
fought? It hasn't. Were they with teachers in Watamu
Okay.
when they are anyway? The truth of the matter is this. Listen, currently we have STEM partners, and the ministry is actually activating STEM. For those who don't know STEM, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and
Information
mathematics.
is being sent to
And
you.
by the way, it's not. No, I read.
No,
That is
that's
what
it.
teachers
You
do.
are
Okay.
referring to-
Let
I
him
refer, I
finish.
research. That is
Bwana
what
Munga, let him
teachers
finish.
do. You understand? The truth of the matter is that the Danish government at the end of the day
Okay.
has instituted STEM competitions across the country, primary schools and high schools. If this man was in touch with the ground, not, you know, the problem, the truth is that
Okay.
these guys are a fighter jet fighting nothing up there, and they haven't touched the base.
Okay.
STEM is already ongoing in primary schools. And by the way, let me tell you what, tomorrow if you want, I will invite Mr. Michael Wanyeki here to come and tell you what STEM is doing in primary schools.
Okay.
All the way from tertiary stages in schools in Gombani and
Yeah, we're
Toyota.
winding up,
The
we're
truth
winding
of the
up.
fact is that we have to bring in
Foreigners.
knowledge, not
Okay.
foreigners, knowledge that helps our people innovate. All years of 844, we are not able to even build a bulb. even produce matchboxes.
Okay.
Our industries are shutting down. Our doctors are just hawking international medicine
let's
with white
drop that
waistcoats.
kind of-
Is
The
there-
fact
is
is
there-
that
is there fear?
No, the fact is that
just hold
the
on a
bit.
CBC
Yeah.
Lupita Nyong'o
will give us
844 Lumina.
Lupita Nyong'o could
Peter
not survive
Tabichi,
in
the
this
best
country.
Peter Tabichi,
She
the
had to
best
go to a
global
country
teacher.
that has a competence-based
Is an
curriculum.
Is there
Lumina.
fear? Now,
At the end of the day,
let's put this into perspective. Is there, you know, when you insist on STEM,
Yeah.
is there fear of not producing these engineers, these mathematicians, these pilots? Is there fear because now 844 has actually produced all these people?
It has.
Yeah, but
In
now
fact,
is there fear?
No,
Is there
brother,
fear? Is there
it
fear?
has. We are
No,
here
no,
because
no.
that question was to me. Please, you have just been talking. Allow me to say
no,
something.
okay. Anyway.
Okay.
The problem is that it may not be useful.
That is
Okay, but I'm
okay, let me see.
before you wind up. Yeah, before you wind up. Yeah. Okay.
You see, this is what our government and its agents have been doing to Kenyans.
I am not an agent of government. I'm the agent of
The
teachers.
agents of
I am the only
government,
legitimate
They
defender of teachers. in this
they are
country.
PR mercenaries. You know, they come up and try to show things that this will happen.
Okay.
844
As we were ending up
has
also,
produced some of the best nuclear scientists in the world. We have people in Oxford University, the most sought after
Is
Kenyan.
Oxford University 844? You
No,
see,
I'm not- I'm
I said
saying
this is not going to be
we-
useful.
listen,
and
you
you
see
didn't
now,
listen to me. Is Oxford University 844?
Proceed. Yes, proceed.
Why did
as it's
he say
finishing.
Nairobi
As it's
University?
finishing. As we
We
finishing.
have alumni of 844 in Stanford University.
Okay.
We have people who have graduated from the 844 system doing very well in foreign universities.
Okay.
Right now,
Why are they in foreign universities?
we have people in
Well,
those
I can't
countries.
believe you're listening
Okay, you know,
to
even
this.
the producer
Let
would like
him
you
finish,
to
let him
allow me
finish.
to finish. Even
Let
the
him
No,
finish.
but the producer hasn't talked to you.
No,
but they will allow-
let him finish.
No, okay.
Yeah.
they'll want you to allow
Briefly, because you're winding this up to his last statement now. Yeah.
844 had its flaws.
Okay.
Everything has its flaws. In Kiswahili we say, usitupe mbachao kwa msala upitao. You don't throw away this old thing and say bad things about it because you have found a new thing.
Okay, we're winding up.
Before you get the new thing, first of all, be sure that the new thing, you have all the properties and all the document and everything that you need. For now, Kenyans, this is just a PR game. Teachers
No.
do not attend those
Last
sessions.
sentiments
You
before
know,
we actually
first of
wind this
all,
up.
I
yeah.
am convinced that after this show, my brother is still dealing with the hangovers of Watamu. Because the entire of that conversation was absolutely deluded. The truth of the fact is that CBC is a great thing. If there are issues within implementation, please let us hold hands together and clear this. We cannot stop something good, you understand, because of a bad process. We can always begin. And the truth of the fact is that this is still being piloted. If it is being piloted, nothing stops you as a Kenyan citizen from writing to Parliament. We had a meeting with Professor Magoha, even before he became CS Education. You understand? He promised us of certain changes. And I'm talking this on behalf of an institution called Kenya Christian Professionals Forum. We were concerned about some things. Nothing stops you from setting a meeting with KICD and giving you whatever it is.
Because of
I'm
time.
asking Kenyans,
Yeah.
please
Because of time.
give your opinions
Because
within
of
the
time.
pilot process
Yeah.
so that then your opinions can be included
right.
within that.
All
But
right.
don't listen to the naysayers. Kenyans do not listen to the naysayers. This is
All right.
something good. We can all do it together.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
this
much.
guy is good, but if I can't afford it,
No, I mean, you
I
want
will
a
go
Pro
with
Box
my
or what?
Toyota.
Thank you so much for
No,
coming,
we
gentlemen.
cannot have an
Studio,
education system that is
let's
Pro Box
hope
based.
actually we'll actually have sanity in this, because this is the confusion that is actually happening out here. The teachers have refused to go for this training,
haven't
and of course,
They
some
have
are.
refused.
No,
They have been arrested.
That's a
We're taking a short break. We're taking a short break.
Teachers are
When we come
training.
back, we'll be talking about now the issue of land in this country. All that after a short break.
Empty rooms. There are empty rooms here.
Look
Teachers
for
are
the
not even in
green
those